Have you ever tried to manifest something and your brain immediately argued with you? You say an affirmation like, I am successful. And your brain responds with, no, you're not. Look at your bank account. Remember the last time you failed? Suddenly, manifestation feels impossible. Not because you don't want the goal, but because your brain refuses to believe it. So today we're talking about the science behind why your brain resists manifestation and why that resistance is actually normal. Your brain isn't sabotaging you, it's protecting you. Once you understand how your brain works, manifestation becomes much easier and far more realistic. Your brain has one main job: keep you alive. Not make you successful, not make you wealthy, not help you become famous, keep you safe. Your brain does not distinguish well between physical threats and psychological threats. So things like rejection, failure, embarrassment, uncertainty, they can all trigger the same alarm system. Manifestation often requires change, and change equals uncertainty, which your brain then interprets as a risk. So when you try to become a new version of yourself, your brain pushes back. Not because it hates your dream, but because it wants to keep things predictable. Another reason your brain resists manifestation is something called the status quo bias. This is a cognitive tendency where humans prefer things to stay the same, even if the current situation isn't ideal. Why? Because familiar situations require less mental energy to navigate. Your brain already knows. Your brain already knows how your current life works, what your routine looks like, what to expect socially and emotionally. But manifestation asks you to imagine something unfamiliar. A new identity, a new level of success, a different lifestyle. And this creates friction. Your brain starts asking questions like, what if we fail? What if people judge us? What if this changes everything? So resistance shows up as procrastination, overthinking, self-doubt, avoidance, not because you don't want success, but because your brain is wired for efficiency and safety. Another reason manifestation can feel difficult is because your brain prefers evidence over imagination. A key part of this process involves the prefrontal cortex. Prefrontal cortex evaluates information and decides what seems realistic. So when you repeat affirmations like, I'm a millionaire, I'm extremely confident, my life is perfect, your brain checks its internal database and it doesn't find the supporting evidence, it rejects the statement. That's why affirmations can sometimes trigger the opposite thought. This isn't true. Your brain isn't being negative, it's fact-checking. There's another fascinating system involved in perception called the reticular activating system. Your brain receives millions of pieces of information every second. The RAS filters what you notice. It prioritizes things that match your beliefs, your identity, your focus. So for example, if you decide you want a specific car, suddenly you see that car everywhere. That car didn't appear more often. Your brain just started noticing it. Manifestation works similarly. When your identity shifts, your brain begins noticing opportunities that previously went unseen. But the identity shift has to be believable. Otherwise, the filter doesn't update. Many manifestation teachings simplify the process to just believe. But belief is not something you can force. Belief is built through repetition, experience, evidence. Your brain updates beliefs based on patterns. If you try something, survive it, learn from it, try again, your brain starts rewriting the story. Confidence is not created through imagination alone. It's created through lived proof. So instead of fighting your brain, let's work with it. Use bridge thoughts. Instead of jumping from I'm failing to I'm wildly successful, try I'm learning how to improve. Bridge thoughts reduce internal resistance. Create evidence. Take small actions that support your future identity. For instance, you want to be a content creator. Post one video. If you want financial stability, track your spending. If you want confidence, speak up once in a meeting. evidence rewires belief. Normalize discomfort. When resistance appears, say, my brain is protecting me, not I'm sabotaging myself. Compassion reduces fear. Repeat new experiences. Neuroscience shows that repeated experiences strengthens neural pathways, a process known as neuroplasticity. The more often you act like the future version of you, the more normal it becomes. Eventually, the unfamiliar becomes familiar and resistance fades. Okay, so your action steps. Identify your resistance. Ask yourself, what goal creates the most mental pushback right now? Write down the first thought your brain says. For example, I'm not good enough. This will never work. Awareness is step one. Create a bridge belief. Turn that negative thought into a believable bridge. So for example, I'm not good enough would then become, I'm improving my skills every week. Believable beliefs stick. Take one evidence action. Within 24 hours, take one action aligned with your goal. Small counts. Evidence is more important than motivation. Track your proof for 7 days. Every evening, write one action you took, one thing you learned, one moment you handled discomfort. And after a week, review the list. You'll see progress your brain initially ignored. Reframe resistance. Next time self-doubt appears, say, my brain is protecting me from uncertainty. Then take the next small step. Your brain resisting manifestation does not mean your dream is unrealistic. It is doing its job. The goal isn't to silence your brain. It is teach it that growth is safe. Because once your brain sees evidence that you can handle change, it stops resisting and starts supporting. I hope you give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.